Know that part of the song where a drummer is playing along, maybe during a groove, maybe a solo, and all of a sudden it kind of upshifts? Like, you're waiting for it, then when it hits, your heart kind of races and you get goosebumps. Then we go to play and we feel more limited, like locked in place. Today's video is going to deal with a super simple concept. In fact, once I say it, you'll realize how simple it is. Here it is. It's the upshift. In plain English, it's just switching to a higher subdivision. See? So simple that you might be like, that's what it is? I could have figured that out. Okay, but then how often do you do it? Because in my experience, it's kind of a hidden in plain sight hack. Great drummers use it everywhere and all the time for musicality, and regular drummers watch those great drummers, then go back to playing the same boring drum fills. But why? It's so simple. Well, on this channel, there's a phrase that's starting to become our catchphrase. Simple, not easy. The truth is, most drummers probably don't do it because it's scary. I have to go faster. You feel safe playing along in 16ths, but jumping to sextuplets has a few obvious hazards, like what will I play and what if it's too fast? And at least one non-obvious one, which we'll cover. But once you master this little pro gear shift, and by master, I mean get it under your hands so you can start to play with it, you'll unlock a whole other world of intensity and excitement in your fills. Like a whole other world, bro. I'm Nate, this is the 80/20 Drummer, and today on the channel, the not so secret unlock all the pros use to make their fills more exciting and how to steal it and use it for your own diabolical devices. As usual, every lick we play will be transcribed for you for free. Download at the link below the player. Stay tuned. Let's first talk about the types of upshift and why we're going to focus on one specifically. Technically, even though I'm not sure anybody else has used upshift this way, but technically if we mean switching to a higher subdivision, there are tons of different upshifts. You could go from regular time to double time, from triplets to 16ths, or from 16ths to sextuplets. Heck, you could go from triplets to quintuplets, or 16ths to quintuplets. But in this video, we're only going to deal with 16ths to sextuplets, and here's why. A lot of the music we play every day is between like 80 and 110 BPM. And I'm not Googling this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Partly because the robot voice set it on Midnight Marauders. And those are tempos where the natural bass line is 16ths, and the closest normal subdivision is sextuplets. Yes, there are quintuplets, and even non-uplets, i.e. 9 notes in the space of 8/16ths. But in terms of the classic subdivisions most of our ears are used to, sextuplets are the closest to 16ths. And that's why when you listen to a ton of pro drum fills and solos, it's probably the most common upshift you'll hear, which is why we'll deal with it in the lesson. So, onward. Obvious obstacle 1. What should I play? One thing you might be thinking is, you had me at upshift, Nate, but I don't know what I'd play. And it's true. You might be thinking, if I play my usual 16th vocab, it's gonna do this weird quarter note triplet across the bar line thing. Or you might think it's singles, or the bottom triplet sextuplet thing. But after that, you're stymied? Well, fear not, young Padawan. I'm here to help. I'm going to give you what I call a switching exercise, which one of my students described more aptly as Scrabble letters. When we practice fills, this is the challenge. If we practice something specific, written out, we'll only ever memorize it like that. Then when we go to improvise, it won't come out automatically unless we force it. So we need to practice improvising with our ideas, to get repetitions using them the way we would in a real musical situation. But on the other hand, if we only ever improvise without guardrails, first issue, we won't know what to play, beyond a few simple things we keep repeating. But also, it's too random to get a lot of reps on anything. And we need reps to get better. That's why Scrabble letters. We take a few specific mini licks, and we learn to play them well, as if they were written out exercises. But then we combine a few of them and play with the order, like Scrabble letters. For instance, if we have a D and an A, we can spell add, or add with two Ds, or DA, or dad, or A-dad, or d-d-d-d-d-d-d-d-d. But let's look at this with a couple mini licks. The first is right, left, left kick. I'll play it a few times and then orchestrate it around. For starters, I like to keep the ghost notes on the snare, though you can move them around when you get more advanced. The accents can go on any drum or cymbal. The second is right, left kick. And here's that demonstrated with a little orchestration. And remember, if you want the complete transcription for free, you can download that at the link below the player. Now, let's practice making some basic words with these Scrabble letters. I'm going to switch between them, playing with the order musically, or try, and you'll see the phrases we're able to make. Orchestration, order, and dynamics are the variables you can play with. Soon, I'm going to give you 3 more licks that are super common that pros use in this type of fill, but for now, just practice switching between these 2. And in the meantime, let's talk about one obvious obstacle to doing this upshift, and one kind of hidden one. Obvious obstacle 2. Won't this be too fast? So if you're playing Don't Stop Till You Get It Done, which falls at the top of our common pop song tempo register, and you're not pretty advanced, you will struggle to chop in sextuplets at that tempo. But you can downshift to triplets. And I know I said this video would mainly be about upshifting to sextuplets, but if you practice downshifting to triplets, all the same vocabulary will work. Then when it gets better, you'll be able to upshift. Whew. For everything else, of course, it's going to be easier, slower at first. You can start nice and slow with this concept, like Tempo D Barry White, 65 BPM, and just practice your sextuplets there for now. There's another concept that'll help, which I covered in my time warp video here. But it's basically that if you keep the number of Scrabble letters small, you'll be able to go faster more easily. Basically, you can play something clean, you can play it fast, and you can play it with a lot of ideas, and you have to choose 2. But start out at 65, doing the exercise we're about to talk about, and gradually get quicker with it. But now, our first non-obvious obstacle. Non-obvious obstacle 1. Nailing the tempo is hard. When I say the tempo, I mean the tempo change, the rate change between sixteenths and sextuplets. As in, we think knowing which notes to play is going to be the biggest challenge, but actually, for most of the students I see, it's making sure that when we change to sextuplets, the sextuplets are at the right tempo. And when we change back to sixteenths, the same is true. Try this simple exercise. Start with the metronome on quarter notes, and just play 1 bar of sixteenths and 1 bar of sextuplets. To keep it consistent, so you don't have to learn any extra vocabulary, in sixteenths I'll just play paradiddles with accents, and then when I change to sextuplets, I'll play the first mini lick we learned before. As you do this, pay attention. Are the sextuplets slower than you thought in order to stay with the metronome? Try to make that adjustment the next time. The goal should be to nail the rate as soon as you switch. When that becomes easier, try it with the metronome only on 2 and 4. Now, try it with your switch between your Scrabble letters. Just play paradiddles and sixteenths in the first bar, but try to switch between the 2 mini licks in bar 2. When that's easy, you might have a final concern. Obvious obstacle 3. Okay, but how do we play it so it doesn't sound like an exercise? Okay, two-parter. First, let's get to those extra pro Scrabble letters we talked about. I'm going to give you 3 more. And quick disclaimer, use with caution. Don't assume that just because you now have 5 letters to play with, that you can play anything under the sun. Of course you can, but you want to set aside some of your practice to drill this strictly. Again, it comes down to if you don't put up guardrails, you're going to be playing too many ideas, and they're going to occur too randomly, and you won't get enough reps with anyone to really improve. Which means you're less likely to diverge from your old habits and make a real breakthrough. With that out of the way, here are the next 3 Scrabble letters. Right, left, left, kick. Kick, kick, left, left. And right, left, kick. Let me try to make combos with those, remembering that this will actually be easier for you because you'll have a few days to remember these specific licks. Remember, you can change the order, the orchestration, and the dynamics. And for now, try to keep all the ghost notes on the snare. I mentioned this was a 2-parter. The second part is obvious. How do we practice actually upshifting the way we do it in a real musical situation? First, try 2 bar 16ths, 2 bar sextuplets. Play your normal solo flow in 16ths. Then when you upshift, do your sextuplet Scrabble letters. So that's good practice and it's getting us there. But you wouldn't do that in a real musical situation, which is why, final stage, blur the lines. As you get better at this, don't confine your upshifts to just every 2 bars, or even beginnings of bars. Try to surge your Scrabble letters where you feel it. Go back and listen to your favorite drummers and see where they incorporate them. Here, for instance, Larnell Lewis waits till almost the end of a phrase. Feel better? In this video, we examined something simple all the pros do, and hopefully demystified it, so you can start using it in your own solos and fills in a musical way. That's how you get the gig! And just a reminder, if you'd like the completely free transcription of this lesson, all you have to do is click the link below the player, tell us where to send it on the next page. Dudes, it's been real. Always enjoy these. See you again real soon in another Lesson of the Week.